So, we'll start up with Section A. So the examiners will simply tell you what section you are assigned, then you have to go directly to that section and begin to do your pre-trip. So Section A is the entire engine compartment here. So I'll start with my lights. All of my lights are properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no moisture behind the lens, and they work. At the top here, you have your identification lights, which are the three in the middle. You have your clearance lights, which are the ones on each end. Down here, you have your headlight assembly. On the inside, you have your low beam, your high beam, and your multi-function amber light on the side. The functions of that light are parking, running, four ways, and turn signals. Go to this side. There's only one item on this side of the vehicle that the examiners care about, and that's going to be this here, which is the belt-driven alternator. Belt-driven alternator is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds. There's no signs of burns, corrosion, or any exposed wires. Since it's belt-driven, the belt should have no more than 1/4 inch of free play in the center. It's properly mounted, secured, not ripped or torn. All right, so that's for the alternator. Back on the opposite side.
What's this side?
So from there, we'll go to the belt-driven water pump. Belt-driven water pump is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds, not leaking any coolant through water. Any hoses associated with it are properly mounted, secured, soft and pliable, not leaking any coolant through water. Seeing as it is belt-driven, the belt should have no more than 1/4 inch of free play in the center. They're properly mounted, secured, not ripped or torn. Next up, tucked in the frame back that direction, the part itself is impossible to see. These lines here can remind you to talk about the part because they do go to them. It's going to be the gear-driven air compressor. The gear-driven air compressor is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds, not leaking any air. Any hoses that are rubber should be properly mounted, secured, soft and pliable, not leaking any air. Next up is going to be the easiest point on the test, and that's going to be your oil dipstick. Must be checked while the engine is cool. You will pull it out, wipe it clean, reinsert, and take it out again. It should be above add and below max. If you need to add, you add here, 1 gallon at a time. From there, go on to our coolant reservoir. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, not leaking any coolant. All caps, present and tight. Should be filled to manufacturer specifications of above add and below max. All hoses associated with it, properly mounted, secured, soft and pliable, not leaking any coolant. All right, next up we'll go over the steering system. Right here we have our power steering fluid reservoir. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, not leaking any power steering fluid. All caps, present and tight. Filled to manufacturer specifications of above add and below max. All the hoses associated with it, properly mounted, secured, soft and pliable, not leaking any power steering fluid. Next up, you have your steering shaft, which is right here.
Steering shaft?
Yes. Steering shaft is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds. It is secure with U-joints that are well greased. Next up, you have your steering gearbox. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds, not leaking any power steering fluid. Now you have your steering linkage. The steering linkage consists of the pitman arm, the drag link, the steering arm. It's going to be difficult to see. Get in there. Along with the tie rod down at the back there. The tie rod's right there. All of those parts of the steering linkage are properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds. They're all secure with a castle nut and a cotter pin, and all the joints are well greased. I will go over more in depth on some of these parts for those of you that have not seen them, so you will get a chance to see the parts. Right now, we're mainly doing this for the video. So, that's it for the steering system. We'll go over the suspension system next. We have our front spring hanger here, rear spring hanger in the back, along with the rear spring shackle, so that flat metal there. All of those parts are properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds. Next up, you have your leaf spring here. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds. It is secure with the U-bolt, which goes over the saddle, around the spring, and through the steer axle. Next up is the hydraulic shock absorber. Properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds. It is secure with nuts, bolts, and rubber bushings at the top and the bottom. That rubber should be soft and pliable, and the hydraulic shock absorber should not be leaking hydraulic fluid. Next up, you have your braking system. So we have the brake chamber, which is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken, with no illegal welds, not leaking any air. The hose, properly mounted, secured, soft and pliable, also not leaking any air. You have your slack adjuster and your push rod. This right here is the slack adjuster. This wide piece of metal here is the push rod. They are both properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken with no illegal welds. Should have no more than 1 inch of free play with the wheels chalked, the brakes released. Slack adjuster should be well greased. On the inside, it's really going to be tough to get an angle on this, but it's going to be the brake shoes and lining and the brake drum. The brake drum is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken with no illegal welds with no sign of grease or oil. The brake shoes and lining is properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken with no illegal welds and should have no less than 1/4 of an inch of friction material. No signs of grease or oil there either. Any grease or oil on either of those two parts would indicate an interaxle seal leak. From there, you'll have your steer tires. Steer tires are properly mounted secure with no abrasions, bulges, cuts, or any exposed material along the sidewall. Tread depth no less than 4/32 of an inch in all of the major grooves. Should be the same size and type across the axle. Fill the manufacturer's specifications or from 100 to 110 psi. These cannot be recapped and they're not leaking air. Your rim is a steel rim. It's properly mounted, secured, not cracked or broken with no illegal welds. There's no sign of rust streaks or shiny metal around your lug nuts, which will indicate looseness. All lug nuts are present and tight. At the bottom, kind of difficult to see, but it's going to be your valve stem. Make sure you get a good angle on it right down there. See it? The valve stem is properly mounted, secure, not cracked or broken, straight with the metal cap and not leaking any air. And there you have your hub seal, which is located here. It's properly mounted, secure, not cracked or broken with no illegal welds. It's not leaking any 90-weight gear lube. A leak would indicate an outer axle seal leak. That's it for section A. So, if you're making videos, go ahead and pause those. That way you don't waste any unnecessary space on your phone. Now, I know quite a few of you didn't see a fair amount of these parts, so those of you that got the video in the better angles, move that way.